Okay, so we're back again. I just want to finish up a couple things and then you're done for this session. So essentially what I'd like you to do is finish off the heights, getting all the heights for all your measurements. Okay, and just generally just blocking everything in. Now, when I say generally block things in, I mean you're going to look for anatomy. Okay, you're going to put more of those areas of the body that you feel comfortable adding, and especially like for areas like this area right here and that, I want you to actually feel the part of your leg so you can figure out where the mass, what the overall shape and mass of this leg is like. In general, what you're going to find is that the front part is going to be pointier and skinnier, and then this back part right here is going to be wider. So it's going to feel like there's like a triangle here, right? Okay. And then the same thing here. It's going to be it's going to be the opposite actually. It's going to be skinny back here and then wider at the front part of this leg. And I want you to start feeling, you know, on yourself what these volumes are like. I want you to feel your rib cage. Okay, I want you to feel the shape of this area right here. Feel that it's like it's triangular here. Okay, now glutes. Okay, yeah, I know, giggles, or maybe not giggles, but I tell you, kappa feel. All right, feel what that's like, because the so this shape here of his back glutes, right, is actually narrower than you think. So you can see here where there's the tension of his muscle here. So this shadow is very important. Make sure you observe where that shadow is, because that is where his gluteus muscle is actually contracting there. Okay, so you can see. Oh, shoot. I gotta put this. All right, you know what? We're gonna do this. So here you can see, now I really am not too fond of this sculpture, but that's okay. I don't think all the volumes are correct. But if you look at this, okay, we're gonna look from above as well. You see how the outermost points of the gluteus muscles are closer than you would think. Okay, so it's like right here. And also too, the formation of it is actually at a diagonal. All right, it's moving diagonally that way. So you need to feel what it's like when you have, you know, so it's on this side that Charles is contracted, right? So you're gonna lean your leg, lean your body weight onto this left side of your body, and you're going to feel your glute muscle, and you're going to feel it clench. And that's going to squeeze this muscle and make it a little bit more narrow than this side right here. So in order to convey weight in the body, transfer weight, you have to actually do that. Now, I really don't care if you're embarrassed. I really don't. Because you got to learn this, okay? So here you're going to see, oh shoot. Yep, this is a recording with no edits. Okay, so you're going to see how all these muscles, all right, you're going to see the sartorius here, okay? All these muscles. This is the, what's this called again? I'm trying to remember. Cantor. Rectus femoris, okay? So the rectus femoris that's here, okay, is going to, you're going to see this movement here, okay? And then everything's going to come here at this, going to meet here at this point. So it's going to be full here, then it's going to cave in a little bit more, And then around here, this is where you're going to find the great trochanter bone. So the great trochanter bone, remember, is right here. Okay, so you will feel that. It's going to feel like a hard knob on the side of your leg, on the upper side of your, it's going to be below the pelvic point, right? Below this pelvic point here, and then it's going to be lower. All right, so you're going to have to find where these points are in space and just really dig in. Okay, so here you can see where I started to put the gluteus muscle. All right, okay, here you can see where I started to put the front thigh muscle. So you have to really feel where this, once again, where the outline is being created, where the fullest, pointiest part is sticking out the most. Okay. And then also the same thing with the back of the leg. So on Charles, he's got really thin legs. Okay. Down here in this nether region. I mean, it's really skinny. So be sure you don't overbuild that area. Then you're going to make sure to put this part of the leg in. Okay, so once again, you're going to feel where the tendon is back here. Okay, so right here, there's a tendon. You're going to feel it. It's going to feel like this, this dent. It's going to feel like a dent in your leg because it's pulling really tight. So you want to draw where that is. Okay, and you can see here where it's been marked, either side of the crease of the knee, you know, in the back of the knee. You got to figure out where that is. You got to draw where that is. Okay, and then when you look at, let's say, the bottom part of the body, you're going to compare that. You're going to compare this height to that height to make sure you've got all your heights correct. Then when you're sure that these proportions are working together in comparison to each other, then you're going to compare, you're going to look at this as one section. You're going to compare this section to that height of that section. Same thing here. Okay, so you got, you know, hello. So from so if you're going to get this section, you're going to look at this, compare it to that. Look at this section, you're going to compare this to that. And really make sure that all your proportions are working correctly, okay? You're going to be drawing where you see that, like, let's say the scapula, okay, the mass of the scapula. It's going to help you know where to put your information, okay? And then this is another thing that I missed that I want to point out to you, which is that when we did the measurements, at least for Charles, for the height of the shoulder, okay, so this is going to be for his left shoulder. This height right here is supposed to be where the armature goes. I don't think we got the height of the actual shoulder. So you see how the C7 is incredibly tall? That's because we need to adjust the height of the shoulder so that it's up here. Okay, so another thing is that if your measurements are off, you have to remember that you may not have done perfect measurements and you have to compensate. You have to do whatever makes sense. Okay, so I know that it's a lot to handle, but I'm telling you, if you get into the habit of handling this kind of information now, you will be phenomenal at whatever you do. Okay, you're going to really make sure that everything is working correctly. If something doesn't seem right, you got to check back, walk backwards, and double check that everything is working. Okay. All right. So I'd like you to continue with doing the general masses. Okay. Get the general placement and the general shape of everything. You do not need to make a full out completed sculpture right now, because I will walk through with you, but I need you to first start by placing everything. You're going to start placing where the elbows are, okay? And you're going to stop at the forearm. Just leave this part bare for now, but just get that elbow in and try to integrate Also the gesture of the arms, right? Be sure you have the bend at the right spot for the elbows, and just get the general shapes. Okay, so that'll be it for this week, and we'll continue with this sculpture for the next week. Okay, so I'm going to just give this guy a little turn so you can get a sense for what everything is looking like. Okay, so right now it's a little unbalanced. I've done this, but I haven't done the back. Right. Here I've done the back part of the leg, but I still haven't filled this out yet. Okay, so this is what's going to happen. You're going to say, okay, where is the pelvic point? You always go back to your skeletal points, and then from there you compare. Okay, so this point, is that in the right spot compared to this? You can literally take a tool. You can draw a straight line through. You can say from this pelvic point all the way up to this zygomatic process for the width of the face. Yes, that relationship is working. From this pelvic point to the top or the front part of the knee, this is the angle relationship. And then you can get the clay out there too to get where the knee is placed. And you just start to really use, once you have this really isolate where it is in space, then you can use this as a reference point. And then from here, you can say, oh, from this point to this point, that angle relationship is like this. Okay. All right. So good luck with this. I will be wanting photos of this for your homework assignment. I'm going to give you another drawing assignment as well. It's not because I hate you, but really because your sense of proportions right now as a class is still not up to par, okay? You really need to get this part right. So the next assignment in drawing, which is due next week, will be to do a site size, a site size drawing of a photo of your model. So if you have this model, you want to get this front view. If you have more issues with side profile views, right, like this one right here, then go ahead and take that. And then I want you to do a site size drawing of it. So I will be posting on my courses the directions for setting up for a site size drawing. And I really want you to take this seriously. And it could take a few hours to get it right. But I want you to recorrect yourself, take 2 days to work on that drawing to make sure that you have a very specific block-in drawing. So when I say block-in drawing, I mean, you're starting with this, okay? All right, so I want you to really read these directions and really freaking follow them. This time you're gonna have to put the notches on the sides of the paper to make sure you've really got the same scale so that when you do your drawing, you're doing everything from the same vantage point, okay? Then you're gonna get these generic lines. And then this is what I want. And I want it to be like crystalline. Some of you have been doing wavy lines or lines that never connect. I do not want that. I want you to do straight lines that absolutely connect so you can see the exact juncture points of every single angle change on that body. That is the only way that you are going to absolutely nail proportion, gesture, inclination of lines, and length of lines, okay? So, so this is what I'll be expecting. And you need to email an image of that. So be sure you take a nice photo of it so that it's not distorted, because otherwise you're gonna get a ton of marks on your homework, okay? I'll be like, why is it distorted? And you'd be like, oh, I took the photo wrong. Okay, so, all right, thank you very much.